Well, I hope you and yours had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you got to enjoy some time with friends, family, and loved ones. I really don't do a lot of production during this particular week. Christmas is over, New Year's is coming. I'm not one of those guys that does the year in review, but there was something that kind of caught my attention over the Christmas break, and well, I wanted to bring it to your attention. So Drew Barrymore has her own show, and she sat down with President Joe Biden and his wife Jill for the Christmas holiday. Now let me just say right out the gate that I don't have a problem with that. I know there were some political commentators that were saying she gave them nothing but softball questions, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's Christmas. I get it. Keep the mood light, keep it festive. Keep it about, Christmas and your family and traditions. And that aspect of it, I really didn't have a problem with. But then she had to prove that it wasn't just about keeping it about Christmas and keeping it light and keeping it festive. She had to do the fawn over. And that's what I have an issue with.
This holiday season, it's 2022. We're coming to the close of a year. A good year, a fantastic year, a year with so much hope, so much being able to work. The thing that's also so synonymous with you is the being able to work with everybody, which is so much a part of what so many of us want. And for those who want that and believe in it, you are a beacon, and I've always been a beacon of hope with that.
Gentlemen, Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
A year of hope, a great year of abundance and prosperity that we don't want to see come to an end. How many of you watching right now are thinking, I can't wait for 2022 to get over? It can't be in the rearview mirror fast enough. Record gas prices, record inflation that we haven't seen in 40 years. A crisis at the border. A military crisis we created in Ukraine. And the list goes on and on and on and on. We have got a broken border that, thank God, the Supreme Court stepped in and said, no, we're not going to do away with Title 42. We need to give border agents the ability and the freedom to be able to expel people as quickly as they are passing through this porous hole that you call a border. So, Drew, I'm not quite sure if you're really just uninformed or you're a hack. But that was, you got to be kidding me. And then, when you said he is known for bringing people together. Really?
Now to the US, and President Joe Biden today addressed the nation. This speech on the American soul was delivered at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, and it was the most divisive, hate-filled, and fallacious speech. This is the worst speech I think I've ever heard from a US president. Biden's hate speech perfectly matched the dystopian aesthetic. Far from unifying the country, the president is keen to paint half of America as filled with extremists who want to destroy democracy.
To be a nation of hope and unity and optimism, or a nation of fear, division, and of darkness. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
I am so excited, and I'm looking back at 2022 with such fondness. I thank you for creating that feeling around for everybody.
So how extreme are these MAGA Republicans? If the MAGA Republicans win control of the Congress, it won't matter where you live. These MAGA Republicans won't stop there. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. The MAGA Republicans are destroying America. Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Duh! doesn't really sound like he's bringing anybody together there, does it? When you call half the country extremists who hate democracy, hate freedom, and want to subvert everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Was he talking there about Dr. Fauci and the science Gestapo that's out there trying to strip everyone of their rights and liberties, all in the name of trust science, trust the experts? Yeah. And he's known for his truthfulness.
Biden seemed to be claiming Kinnock's vision and life as his own.
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Gladys the first woman in her family, in 1,000 generations, to be able to get to university?
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground, and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.
Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
I swear to God, when he left Scranton, when Cole died, my dad was he was a salesperson. He wasn't a coal miner. My great-grandpop was. Hell, I might be president now if it weren't for the fact I said I had an uncle who was a coal miner. It turned out I didn't have anybody in the coal mines, you know what I mean?
Really?
I tried that crap, it didn't work, I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I figured there had to be a coal miner somewhere in the family.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. Coal, it was an engineer. I mean,
I'm so excited, and I'm looking back at 2022 with such fondness.
Though this is not an earth-shaking news event, I saw this and said, I got to set the record straight on this. This was just absolutely blowing my mind. Now, I understand that Drew Barrymore's biggest accomplishment is riding in cars with boys. I got it. I understand that, Drew is not what you would necessarily refer to as somebody who's intellectually deep on anything. And again, I didn't have a problem with her sitting down with the president and the first lady and keeping the fare kind of light in for the season. But to then outright just try to propagandize what a wretched job this man has done as a president. And I'm sorry, even as a human being. I couldn't stand that. I couldn't stomach that. And I had to say something about it. And on that note, have a great rest of your holiday.